So we're going here, and we're going left, right? Yeah, make sure not to hit that cliff over there. Yep. No, don't even think about it. I could have done any other joke for that, but I decided on that one. Anyway, I've just come back from watching How to Train Your Dragon live action. It was 125 minutes long, I believe, so that's just over 2 hours, and it was, How to Train Your Dragon, it was basically a one-for-one remake of the original. There's a few scenes that they did leave out, and there's also a few lines that they did change to make it, I guess, more realistic and things. Any of the major changes that you would notice in this film is all to do with the casting, and that's literally it. Now, I've heard that a lot of people online have been saying that it is 100% a one-for-one remake, and they literally didn't take any live-action creative liberty at all. I didn't really feel that, because, yes, story-wise and like elements and stuff, absolutely everything is in there that is from the original films. However, there's just a vibe about it which is different. Yes, you could say a live action vibe, but there's something else to it as well. And I think I would pinpoint that on the pacing. I don't personally think this film was as well paced as the original, because they cut certain scenes out which kind of slowed things down and brought things out. One of them being the terrible terror scene with Hiccup and Toothless, and that's when he gets the idea for how to defeat the Red Death, because he realises that the inside of dragons are not fireproof. And that scene specifically is one of the major complaints that I've heard people talk about, in the fact that that is literally how he comes up with the idea of how to beat the Red Death and know that it will work. And that scene specifically isn't in the film, along with, I think, the only other scenes, like bigger scenes, I guess, they're not even big scenes. Anything else they cut out is kind of just a few fleeting like scenes, and the rest is basically a one-for-one. However, those scenes in between kind of slowed the original film down, whereas in this one there's big portions of it which are almost a one-for-one, and in between those it gets really quick and fast, I found personally. An example I can give is in the final scenes where Stoic is going off with all the ships and he goes to fight the Red Death. All that like segment of him going off is all like slow, and it's almost exactly the same as it is in the original. But when it actually gets down to the fight of the Red Death actual fight and battle scene is a lot faster, because there's some of the things in between, like when Stoic and Gobber are actually helping each other trying to get the Red Death. I believe in the actual animated film that was a lot longer scene, because Stoic's throwing shit and Gobber is as well, and they have a scene similar to that, but it isn't the same, and it's also a little bit more condensed. So just really small things like that, I think, just sped things up quite a bit. I mean, it still ended up being a 2-hour long movie, so I can't really complain about the length. But that's just like a personal thing of a pacing issue for me. I don't know why. The CGI for this film was, great, good. Toothless looks, dumb to say this, exactly the same as he does in the animated. It's just literally he has a new texture pack on. That's literally the difference. However, I'll add that on the designs of all the dragons, like there's the Zippleback, there's the Deadly Nadder, there's the Monstrous Nightmare, and there's the Gronkle. Monstrous Nightmare doesn't look like it does in the animated. It looks far more like a just regular style dragon. Short snout, more like a crocodile. And then the Nadder, I think, has a lot longer face in this, going with more of the original dragon look as well. Same with the Zippleback. Like in the animated, a lot of the dragons have round heads. Like the Zippleback is literally just a golf ball and a goddamn rope, and then the Nadder is again round head, and the Monstrous Nightmare has more of an oar-shaped face. The Gronkle I have a bone to pick with, because it looks almost exactly the same as, I don't even know what type of dragon it is, don't know, but Gobber's dragon in the second film, the fat, big, lazy one, the Gronkle real life design looks exactly like that. I'm going to Google what the name of that goddamn dragon is. a hot burple called Grump. So that's quite self-explanatory, but yeah, the Gronkel's design looks exactly the same as that dragon. So if they ever do make a second one, God knows what that's going to look like. And some things I could say on the casting is the Rough Nut and Tough Nut twins. I understand that they're doing a like a parody on the fact that the twins literally look not like each other, but they still say that they're twins. But in the original, at least like they're both blonde, they're both like quite skinny, lanky, look basically the same. In this, it's like, come on. I get that's part of the parody, they just don't look like they do in the original. I also think that Gobber should have had a Scottish accent in this. Like, I love Nick Frost for this role and he did great, but in this film he's just doing a very hardy English accent, not like original Gobber's voice. But that kind of makes me a little bit worried for how he's going to sound as Hagrid in the HBO Harry Potter series, because he has that for 8 years, and I want him to be full on Robbie Coltrane in that. You tell that's goddamn Hagrid just from the voice. Harry! I want the depths of a Scottish shotgun to be sounding from this man. Now I know the majority of that was just criticism, because it was, but that's because the rest of the film is literally the original but live action. And I'll also shout out to Gerard Butler, because God, just bro was stoic, bro is stoic. It was great. And in all honesty, I think those are the only criticisms I have about this film. Like, the main ones you can really say are from the casting, like, why does Astrid look like that? Astrid was fine. It's just, she should have blonde hair, honestly. Everyone's hair is incredibly dark in this. Like, from Snotlout to the Rough and Tough Nut twins, and then to Astrid, all really dark hair. Like, I think maybe there's ginger and the rest is just blacker brunette. I think Astrid should have had blonde hair, and the Rough Nut twins, I think they're both ginger in this. I think they probably should have had just blonde hair. Literally just to make them look more identifiable, because everyone has goddamn dark hair here. And my God, Fish Legs is rotund in this film. Dealt my boy round justice. So yeah, overall, I think I rate this film a 7.5 out of 10. Considering I think my original score of the original film is like 9.5 out of 10, because it's basically a perfect film. And the reason it loses points is because it's literally just a live action. Like, it doesn't really need to happen, really. Like, my brother said he preferred this version over the original, and please open up your damn eyes. I mean, this was a good film, but like, it just works better animated. Like, when you're talking about dragons and a chieftain that has like the strength of 10 dudes, it's like, it's going to work better animated. There's not really much of a point having a live action version of a basically perfected film. I think if you're going to do anything with How to Train Your Dragon, I think you should make the books, because the Harry Potter HBO series is literally proving that you're gonna have these two basically different timelines of the exact same thing. So if you can literally do the exact same thing here, where the How to Train Your Dragon movies, the original just animated, they're basically their completely own thing. Like, they took quite a few things from the books and they kind of just picked it out and then took what they wanted from that and just made their completely own story. But the books are basically untouched. Basically, there's nothing almost similar to the books, so you could very easily make your own. It'd probably be better as a series, TV show, and just make the books if you're going to do anything new with How to Train Your Dragon. But yeah, I'd recommend going to the cinema to watch it yourself and get your own thoughts. And if you have seen it, let me know what you thought. And specifically around like the terrible terror scene and the Red Death's actual demise, because that seems to be the major focal point, if it isn't the casting, the major focal point on what people have complaints about with this film. So yeah, just let me know. Put it down in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching, and bye.